like the sound the bass makes when it's amplified. The low end is your friend who's always down to ride, walking to the beat every day on repeat. I love music, I play it in my sleep. You can keep it all, belongings and possessions while you install the following dimensions. The lesson I was taught, I forgot, I'm the spy. Best believe that the bots come in for what you got. I thought that I knew, but it turns out I didn't have a clue. Who would've known how to proceed when you become grown but too blind to see? Then the day breaks, trip and fall on your face. 10,000 lakes to drown without a trace. Embrace the impact, the hangovers and the jet lag. Don't forget that whenever life hits back. They say Allen Iverson coming for your job. And then they'll say what the hell is wrong with y'all. They say Allen Iverson coming for your job. And then they'll say what the hell is wrong with y'all. I lost my job to a robot with intelligence. The newest model, they not even selling yet. Letting go of the hope that the future will remain. So I'm trying to trade a few coins on the exchange. My mainframe gets a little worn out quicker, and they inflate the price so I can never get richer. I swear the little digger couldn't navigate these waters. My directional sense or my ego getting larger. Smaller be the pride that I locked up inside. Let that shit go so I can sleep at night. And I might just have to come right at you, an extroverted soul with a half-empty attitude. That's a smile on my face because I've learned that this life isn't worth the day you waste. Tastes good, don't it? Compliments to the chef. Enjoy the sunshine because the winter got next. They say Allen Iverson coming for your job. And then they'll say what the hell is wrong with y'all. They say Allen Iverson coming for your job. And then they'll say what the hell is wrong with y'all.
I just popped the pill with Morpheus, the map coordinates, extract the lore from the core abyss, then hack the source within the source of what of sorts. When I sort my sources with a pen, rewriting history just to reinforce the code again. What? Was that too deep? I tried to keep it unique, but you wouldn't understand. You can't even stand 2 feet. You're right. So stand under. You can't understand hunger or map a brainstorm unless you scan thunder. My mind striking, searches fire from the lightning, design frightening. Every line is live wiring. Okay. Let me brag and promise. Why you lacking silence, but never laugh at science? All you lacking guidance, get forced into compliance. Trapped in an appliance. They tried to drill me in, but I was too defiant. I got access. You talking about practice? I crossed over planes. You stuck trying to graft this.
They say Allen Iverson coming for your job. And then they'll say what the hell is wrong with y'all. They say Allen Iverson coming for your job. And then they'll say what the hell is wrong with y'all. La 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 la
Our coach doesn't feel like he did a good enough job stating his case for Iverson's comeback run, so there hasn't been any sort of whispers of it whatsoever. That's one of the reasons I like the prediction the best, if I'm right? Like, literally nobody else is even hinting at it. But nobody hinted at Phillip Rivers either. Did you hear anything about Phillip Rivers coming back before that weird locker room vote? You don't think Iverson could be more popular in a locker room, in Philadelphia than Phillip Rivers is in fucking Indianapolis? What the hell was that about, right? So now, Iverson, also weird connection. He played quarterback as well. As far as like the type of player Iverson is, he always gave you 100%. Okay, so whatever's left in the tank, he's gonna give you all of it. This isn't some entitled, whatever. Like he's born to ball. That's all he's ever really been good at. You know what I mean? He's not someone that went to the booth or whatever. They make movies about it, they make documentaries, they make books. None of them are all that great. None of them seem to move that many copies. They're not all that memorable. You know what I mean? He was the cover athlete like a quarter century ago. This guy's blown through $250 million just like Floyd Mayweather. What do you know, right? Floyd's got to come back to fight, right? Iverson doesn't have to. That's the difference. The only thing in common with these two guys, they've blown a ton of money and they spend like idiots and they made a lot of money, right? Iverson is not Floyd Mayweather in a good way, Okay? Mayweather doesn't care about anybody but himself, in my opinion, right? Iverson cares too much and also just fell into a bunch of classic vices, gambling addict, all that sort of stuff. You can make the same excuses with Mayweather, right? But my point with Iverson is that he always had the fallback of the Reebok trust, right? Like, no matter what he does, he's always going to get more money next year. So he can only do but so bad, and he didn't sign like some ridiculous contract like Floyd to where he's out like $230 million. So he doesn't absolutely need to come back like Floyd does. Like, Iverson's broke. Floyd owes people money, a lot of it. That's a big difference, right? Floyd's more like Mike Vick in this scenario, right? And of course, Iverson and Vick, both from Newport News / Hampton Roads, Virginia, right? Same basic area. And both played for Philly pro teams. So, interesting connections there. Now, as far as Iverson fitting in on the Sixers, what do you know? It's like the only team you could even dream of placing him. It's the only team that's still playing a small guard, i.e. Tyrese Maxey, who first-time all-star starter this year. Iverson says being an all-star is everything. Iverson's been around the team. He came back at one point, in 2009. The fans have never stopped loving him. He's by far the most popular athlete in Philly history. He's undersized, right? But that means he had to base his game on being savvy, on deception. He's not someone who can just run and dunk over you, right? So you had to really learn the ins and outs of the game. What's his strength? Putting the ball in the hole. What's the best skill in basketball? Putting the ball in the hole. It's also like the last thing you forget how to do, right? Coach can't do anything else at this point really but shoot. I can barely bend over and dribble. I can still put the ball in the hole, right? So basically, why would the Sixers need a player like him at this point, right? You'd be like, oh, they can find somebody else, right, on another team. Well, anybody you'd want on another team, right? Trade deadline's over. That's out of the question. You literally can only choose from guys off the street. And why do you need to sign somebody? Well, guess what? The big three you magically got out of nowhere when the Sixers had never had anything close to a true big three. They had to sell us BS like Ben Simmons and James Harden, who we know are career chokers, right? And they just want to blame everything on Embiid. What do you know? The entire big three is just not there, and they're not done, right? It's not like they couldn't come back for a playoff run. We're not going to. One's just suspended. Here's your little slap on the wrist. Tyrese Maxey, I got a little tendon thing in my finger. We'll check it out in 3 weeks. Not 6 weeks, not 8 weeks, like a real injury. 3 weeks, and he probably won't be cleared by then, but it'll be good-ish by playoffs, but they'll be making you sweat. Right? Oh, I don't know if maybe he'll have a couple bad games. The other guys are going to have to carry him, right? Embiid, some little ab strain or whatever. Have you ever had an ab strain? It's something that sucks as long as it sucks, and then you completely forget it happened. You know what I mean? This isn't Embiid, broken face, blown out knee, broken foot. Here's another surgery. Right? No. This is good. We don't want those fuckers on the court. Right? Not when they don't matter. We just need someone who can get us into the playoff tournament. What do you know? It's an era where more teams get in than ever, right? And it's the era of tanking, so less teams are competing to get in than ever. And it's the era of entitlement and player loyalty, player entitlement versus loyalty, like players who jump around wherever. And what's the league looking like right now? Who just won the Thunder? Extremely young team, right? Of course, they're going to sell you the opposite. If they want to brainwash you into thinking an old guy can't win, they have to show you a bunch of young guys winning. Why did the Thunder win? Jason Tatum blew his shit out. Freaking Tyrese Halliburton blew his shit out. Those are two teams that probably would have reamed the Thunder, right? By all accounts. But what do you know? It just happened to be the perfect storm for them to be on, and it's just some bullshit expansion team at the end of the day, right? This isn't some top 5 market like the fucking Sixers here, okay, who just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago with the Eagles. Like Philly, suspiciously hot. We know there's no curse there, right? We're even looking close at teams like the Phillies, the Sixers, you know, who's always mentioned in the exact same breath with Embiid, freaking Kawhi Leonard, because, what do you know, they're both going to come up with some mystery injury or whatever. Well, what if they both just stay healthy, right? And you get Sixers versus Clippers, Iverson going against the other LA team. You wouldn't bat an eye at him beating the Clippers, right? Like, come on. And it's not like the people will not shut up about how we're missing Jaron McCain. Jaron, that's a girl's name. McCain, that's a guy who can't win the presidency. Allen Iverson fucks hard. Everybody, your wife, your mom, get the fuck out of town or he's gonna fuck you, okay? Iverson gets it in, 4-time scoring champ, MVP. Okay, I don't give a fuck about 50. How old was JJ Redick? Like fucking 40? Most unathletic white dork you've ever fucking seen in your life. Who you think's winning one-on-one? And we were like sweating Redick. Like, oh my God. Because he can run around a screen from a freaking 7-foot-tall mountain and hit a fucking fadeaway three-pointer 4 out of 10 times. We're going to fucking jizz ourselves. Iverson would fucking ruin JJ Redick in his prime at 50. You fucking joking? Shut up. And Iverson's brand Reebok just happens to be undergoing the greatest comeback in sportswear history, right? And he's teamed up with Shaq. He's the vice president. Of course, they love to sell you shoes. Iverson's the best at selling shoes behind only Jordan and Kobe. Big men don't sell.